It's summertime. The kids are home, they're hungry, they're loud, and somehow you're in charge of making dinner again. Today we're making crispy baked chicken parm bites because kids love anything bite-sized and covered in cheese. And as always, I've got a few upgrades if you want to turn yours into a parent-worthy meal. And yes, we're heading back to the adult table at the end with cocktails to match. By the way, this episode is brought to you in partnership with GigglesLA, a brand that's all about supporting real parents raising real kids with style, humor, and heart. They've made it their mission to spotlight boy moms and dads and to honor the legacy of a baby boy whose memory inspires everything that they do. Just like we're feeding these little ones with flavor and fun, Giggles is building confidence from the ground up through fashion, through community, and by reminding us that parenting takes a village. And hey, if you're a parent who needs a drink at the end of the day, Giggles sees you, I see you, we're all in this together. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some chicken breasts or tenders, some Ritz crackers, grated Parmesan, eggs, garlic powder, salt, pepper, marinara sauce, and shredded mozzarella. And optional, you could do some flour for dredging and olive oil spray or butter to crisp things up in the oven if you want to. This recipe is baked, not fried, so it keeps things lighter and makes less mess. Plus, we're using Ritz crackers instead of breadcrumbs for that buttery crunch that kids go crazy for. We're gonna start by cutting our chicken into either strips or nugget-sized chunks, just depending on what type of eating experience you want. I'm gonna go with strips because these chicken breasts were enormous. And I'm cutting at an angle to give these a little bit more surface area. Totally a preference thing, but it'll make putting the toppings on later easier since they'll have a place to rest on. Now crush your Ritz crackers. You can do this in a food processor or just throw them in a zip top bag and take out your summer stress with a rolling pin or one of those expensive toys that's probably already broken. Mix those crushed crackers with Parmesan, garlic powder, and a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we're gonna set up our breading station. Flour goes in the first bowl, some beaten eggs in the second, and that Ritz mix in the third. And here's a quick trick if you're new to breading, you wanna use the wet hand, dry hand method. One hand handles all the dry stuff, which is the flour and the cracker mix, and the other hand handles the wet. That way your fingers don't end up breaded along with the chicken. And then we're just gonna dip each piece of chicken in the flour, then into the egg. And yes, I am completely ignoring the advice about the wet hand, dry hand thing that I just gave 5 seconds ago, but you know, sometimes you gotta separate the message from the messenger. And then coat it fully in that buttery cracker goodness. Line them up on a parchment lined baking sheet and just spray them lightly with some olive oil or brush with melted butter for max crispiness. And then we're just gonna bake these at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes or until the chicken hits 165 degrees internally. And then once that chicken is cooked, we're gonna spoon a little marinara on each piece. Then we're gonna top with some mozzarella and bake again for 3 to 5 minutes until the cheese melts. Then we just let these cool for a few minutes so that cheese sets, then serve with some more sauce on the side for dipping. And these are great on their own in lunch boxes, or you can turn them into sliders with some soft rolls and a little extra marinara. And here's your parenting win. They're homemade, they're baked, not fried, and picky eater approved. Now, if you want to turn yours into a grown-up dinner, here are just a few easy upgrades. First, you can serve them over some pesto orzo or zoodles if you're trying to watch those carbs. Add to a Caesar salad with some shaved parm and croutons. You can make chicken parm sliders on toasted ciabatta with garlic aioli and arugula. Or you can plate them over creamy polenta with chili flakes and a drizzle of balsamic glaze. It's one meal, but with 2 experiences. Feed the kids and then feed your soul. And now that the kids are back outside chasing fireflies like those still exist, let's head on over to the adult table. 6 spirits, 6 ways to celebrate surviving another summer dinner shift. Starting out, our whiskey sour is back. Such a versatile drink. That's 2 ounces of whiskey, 3/4 an ounce of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, and we're gonna shake and strain this over ice, and we're actually leaving the egg white out of this one just to kind of make it a little bit different from the last time we did this. And the acid from this drink is gonna cut the richness of the cheese and bring all sorts of balance to that comfort. Next up is a spicy paloma. That's 2 ounces of tequila, 2 ounces of grapefruit juice, 1/2 ounce of lime juice, pinch of chili salt, aka tahini, and then just give that a good shaking. To rim our glass, we're just gonna put down a little bit of lime juice on a plate, place our glass rim down into the juice, and then take that over to another plate that's filled with tahini, and just give it a spin until that rim is nice and coated. Pour it in your drink and top with some soda water, and you've got something zesty and bright to contrast the tomato sauce and rich chicken coating. Next up, a Bloody Mary, a very simple version of it. 2 ounces of vodka, some Bloody Mary mix, celery salt rim, and we're just using the exact same method we did for the tahini rim. And we're just gonna serve that over the rocks because this is basically marinara in a glass. It's savory and spicy to match the bite. Next up, cucumber basil smash. Oh, this is such a refreshing drink. It's 2 ounces of gin, 3/4 an ounce of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, some muddled cucumber and muddled basil. It's crisp, it's herbal, and it's gonna keep things light and fresh. I'm telling you, on a hot day, this thing really hits. Following that is our brandy smash. We're going with 2 ounces of brandy, or you can use a cognac, 3/4 an ounce of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, some fresh muddled mint, and this pairing is a little deeper and rich, but it plays really well with the toasted cracker crust and the Parmesan. And lastly, a classic rum and coke. That's 2 ounces of dark rum, a splash of Mexican Coke, and a squeeze of lime juice. And this pairing is sweet and bold with a little bit of nostalgia, kind of like this dinner. And there you have it. You just fed the kids and made something you'd actually eat too. No drive-through, no frozen nuggets, just good food, fun flavors, and a little something for yourself at the end. So cheers to that, and we'll see you at the next one.